Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video marks the wrap-up or the end of the week number 29 in this road to 100k realized return challenge. And so this has been a positive week for the markets, despite some up and downs in between, but overall things went quite well. There were some highlights during the week, such as the inflation report data in the United States, and earnings continue to be released by big companies, and overall things looked rather well. The inflation report came out a little bit higher, with basically the headline inflation coming a little bit higher than analysts expected, but there were some encouraging signs on the core side of the inflation, and overall company earnings also have been quite strong as well overall. And there is also some shift in the perception by investors about the tariffs that the US administration has been putting in place. So the fact that some of those have been rolled back to enact some sort of negotiations between the parties involved, this probably made investors realize that these tariffs, or the threat of tariffs, may be some sort of attempt to renegotiate the terms for the benefit of the United States. And so it appears that investors have been giving a little bit less importance to their instatement or to their implementation. And so basically the markets continued their upward trajectory throughout the week. And so as things stand, as you can see right here, the Nasdaq basically went to very close to all-time highs, and as a result we ended up selling, because we were forced to, selling our shares on QQQ, actually on quite favorable terms, because as you may recall, we had bought our shares on the ETF QQQ at a price of 536. As you can see right here, we had sold this put. This put was assigned, and the strike price was 536, and so we managed to sell the same 300 shares at a price, the strike price of 537. As you can see right here, we sold this particular call with a strike price of 537 on Friday. We even received this premium, with this nice premium on top of it, and this ended up being assigned. And so we sold the shares of 537. We received these proceeds, 161,100 euros, and as a result, this was because, as you can see here, the QQQ finished the week at a price of 538.11. Now, if you ask me why didn't you sell initially a call on the strike price of 536, the reason is because at the time, when the markets opened yesterday on Friday, the QQQ share price was already 536.10, 0.11, somewhere along those lines, and so it made no sense to sell a call which was already in the money. And so we tried to sell a call which was out of the money, but still would maximize our chances to be assigned and we get our money back. And so basically that's what I did. We sold a call on the immediately on the next strike price, which was 537, and ended up being assigned. It would also have been assigned if we went a little bit more on the bolder side of our aspirations. And if we sold a call of 538, it would have been assigned as well, but that was not the case, and so we would have to settle for the 537, which is not bad. We still managed, as you can see right here, we managed to sell with a $300 capital gain, because the difference in $1 times the 300 shares that we had, so that means a capital gain of $300, and of course all the premiums that we managed to get over the course of this campaign. And as you can see here, and I'm going to show you here, let's just filter for the QQQ, and as you can see here, if we account for all the premiums that we received, this gives us overall a premium, an amount, a grand total in premiums of $1,686.46 plus the $300 capital gain. So here you have basically the outcome of this campaign by trading the QQQ. It's true that this took us basically 2 months to get this far, and some of these premiums here in between were not that attractive at all, because of the index, the Nasdaq index, went to pretty much low, very much lower levels that we were expected to at the time when we bought these shares. But yeah, that's the way the market goes. It's up and down in the short run, but in the long run usually markets go up. And so yeah, basically we had to ride all of this volatility. As you can see here, this volatility that we had over here, we had to ride through all of that until we basically made it this far, and we managed to sell our shares. On the Pfizer side, the stock continued its downward trend post earnings this week, and as a result of that, the calls that we sold at the beginning of the week, as you can see here, they expired worthless. All right, so they fell away with no value, and so we kept a premium, which gives us a minute return, I should say. Let's just unfilter here, select all. As you can see here, the premium that we receive was not that great, and the return was also not optimal, so it was about 20% annualized, but still this was the best that we could do. And now this coming week, even though the stock price recovered a little bit on Friday, I'm afraid that we may not be able to get a very good return out of these shares in the coming week currently, and assuming the stock will open at more or less this value, this price for the coming week. We will also have to contend with a pretty low premium, as you can see here, because of the high probability of not going up until this value, the strike price of 26.50. And so basically we'll have to accrue this or collect this premium for a week, and then wait that the stock recovers enough so that next week we could still sell at a higher premium, assuming the stock will recover soon. Now for next week, and as things stand at the moment, and for some reason this stopped working, so we need probably to refresh our screen. All right, now it's working. So we have all this cash here available for us to use, and so basically is to use this cash that we have available to sell more puts on the QQQ. And looking here at the option chain and considering the current price, and we will probably sell a put again across more or less this level over here at around the 535, because this gives us a pretty good chance that it will not reach this level, but we'll have to wait and see. From the current stock price, the current share price, and this price over here, this is more or less 0.5%, so it's not that far below. We will probably have to go a little bit deeper, 534 perhaps, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, based on this price, we only have enough funds to sell 3 contracts, and so we'll keep some money we will keep some funds in reserve in case we may be able to sell 1 or 2 more puts on Pfizer, or we'll keep it in case we may find some other opportunities to use this cash. In the meantime, of course, these funds will continue to gather interest, to accrue interest, so it's always good for us. But for the time being, this is it. Next week we'll wait and see what happens. The markets will be closed on Monday, so the next video, with the video for the start of the week number 30 in this challenge, will only be posted on Tuesday when the markets open. And so here we have the activity statement up to until yesterday, and looking here at the realized returns, as you can see here, we're already on the realized return screen. So yeah, this is where we currently stand at the moment, $28,235.81. So we keep progressing. Now this was a good boom that we received from the sale of those shares, and also the premium that we received from the calls that we sold on the QQQ share. So this is it. And now finally, and just to show you here also, in terms of our performance, we continue to, I would say pretty reasonable performance overall, 17.88%. And currently we are still, although by a lesser margin, we are still outperforming the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. However, given the rise of the Nasdaq and the fact our performance is being burdened a bit by the fall or the decrease in value of Pfizer shares, we are underperforming the Nasdaq to a bigger extent now, but we will have to wait for the stock, for the Pfizer to recover, so that we can finally close this gap to the Nasdaq. But so far this is it. Feel free to also leave your comments below, and any questions you may have, you can also leave your questions in there, or send me a DM on LinkedIn. And also, of course, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned, we will reconvene next Tuesday for the start of the week number 30 in this challenge, and I'll see you there.